Coming up this afternoon, protesters arrested during the Occupy Julobi House protests remain in police custody. Legal practitioners describe the police action as weaponizing fear and intimidating citizens who want to exercise their rights. We have details because we'll be taking you live there, where we are told there is a scuffle right now at the Central Police Station. Also this afternoon, CPP denies partnering Alan Chairman for the 2024 general elections, but indicates its doors are open to receive any disgruntled person who may want to join the party to transform the country. Plus, former Auditor General Daniel Domelevu backs calls for the removal of Finance Minister and Governor of the Bank of Ghana to restore confidence in the ailing economy. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Joy News on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X on Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Danana Aisha. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. Joy News is learning of a scuffle that has just broke out at the entrance of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. Some of the demonstrators are demanding the release of those arrested. One of them was whisked into the precinct and manhandled by men in mufti. Earlier, scores of protesters had been arrested by the Ghana Police Service after they converged at the 37 Churchill station to begin their unprecedented three-day protest at the seat of government. The demonstrators, including Fix the Country convener Oliver Bakavomawo, have now been detained in cells at the regional police headquarters. Police say it had served organizers with a court process prohibiting them from holding the intended demonstration against what they say is high-level corruption, unemployment, and mismanagement of the economy. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba was interviewing two of the protesters when they were arrested on camera and bundled into a waiting police vehicle.
So nothing really is happening here at the 37 Churchill station, which is supposed to be the starting point for the protest. But I have two gentlemen here with me who arrived here, who wanted to take part in the protest. Let's speak to them. Let's find out from them what it is like for them at this point. Hi, sir. What's your name?
My name is Oswald Kabute.
Oswald Kabute.
Yes.
Okay, you were coming to take part in this protest.
Yes.
And you heard what happened to your colleagues.
I heard they have been arrested, but that will not stop me from coming. I was late. I was standing in a circle for like close to 30 minutes, and there was no car coming towards this side. Yes.
I can see the passion with which you speak it. Tell me, why are you here to take part in this protest?
I'm here to take part in this protest because our future is at stake. Look at the way the country is being run. The borrowing is just anyhow, and you are not seeing what the effect of the borrowing. The youth are suffering, the youth are dying. When you get to what the airport, the place is always full. People are packing out. Why? Because there is no future for them here. And I want future for those in the country. I want future for my friends. I want future for my family. I want future for my children. I want future for my children's children. Ghana is for ours. We don't have to go to Europe and America to go and survive. You can survive in Ghana. How are you going to survive in Ghana? By our leaders giving us a better Ghana. They promise us Ghana beyond age. Is that what you are seeing? Is that what you are seeing? This to you, who is sitting at home, what are you seeing? You are suffering.
But you've heard that your colleagues have been arrested. So why are you here? No.
Even if one person has been arrested, even if one person is even left, that one person will go. In as much as democracy is concerned, what matters the most is there is no definition for democracy, because the white man who brought the democracy has never defined it. But in as much as I am a human being, democracy leads me to freedom. It leads me to peace. So in as much as we hold arms, we are not armed, and anybody arresting anybody, that means that that person who has sent anybody to arrest anybody is a dictator. Pan-Africanist. My forefathers who formed the NPP in 1954. If anybody told you that the NPP was formed in 1992, tell that person he's a liar. Okay. There was a party called NPP, the Northern People's Party.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Afani. I'm a musician, a social commentator, a Pan-Africanist, a Kwame Nkrumah advocate, and also a member of the communication team of the ACUP, United African Continental Unity Party. Okay. We are not here to cry in solidarity of in the NDC or for the NPP. We are here to cry in solidarity of the ordinary Ghanaian. The Ghanaian children, parents can no longer feed their children.
Well, you see what is happening right now. So police officers now, they're maintaining the process, arresting some of the protesters who came here and said they were going to protest despite police preventing them. Now you can see police officers here.
Is that what they signed up for? They are suffering.
You can see that. Some of them preventing us from even speaking to the protesters who have been arrested. Hi, sir. Fruits, come. That's how we should join them. Hi, sir. Can we talk to you? Police officers, I've taken this gentleman away who said they were going to demonstrate and protest, despite what the Ghana Police Service had done earlier, arresting some of the protesters. About 30 of them have already been taken to the police station. The convener for Fix the Country, Oliver Bakavomo, was also arrested. And just as we're speaking to two of the protesters who said they were going to protest despite the opposition from the Ghana Police Service and the directive from the Ghana Police Service for them not to protest, the police swooped on them and then arrested them, taking them to the police station.
Private legal practitioner Samson Lade-Anyanini has described the arrest of protesters as unlawful. He explains the police is weaponizing fear and intimidating citizens who want to exercise their right to protest, and that must stop. Samson Lade-Anyanini was speaking on the Super Morning Show.
Police publication, a police press release, is not a court process. A police announcement in the public is not the way the law requires that service of a process should be effected on anybody. In fact, in that publication, they didn't exhibit the court process. And the guys said, and they have continued to say, that they have not been served with any process. You say you serve it through their lawyers, and you have now issued another notice, midnight, telling the world that you are refuting their claim that they have not been served, and that they wrote to you, and in that letter they wrote to you, that's long ago, they had indicated the address of their lawyers So you file the process and you serve the copy on their lawyers. Look, I know that there are lawyers within the police service. I know that the police have access to lawyers. No lawyer worth their salt who has gone through LLB training, not law school, LLB training, will give a non-lawyer police IGP or police command or police service that advice that when somebody sends you a letter and says, if you want to communicate with me, communicate with, you can send it to my lawyer. That means that if you go to court, the originating process, you should serve it on the lawyer. The law does not say anywhere that if you file a process, serve it on the lawyer of the person you have sued. So if in fact they have taken a copy to the lawyers, it's a non-service. That's not the way to serve. And when you serve, in fact, and we take for granted that they have served, when you serve, you don't issue a notice advising the public that they should ignore any invitation to a demonstration. You are not a lawyer for the demonstrators. You don't have a right to advise them. So you can see how they are weaponizing fear so that demonstrators will not be interested in going out there because they have become aware. We can take the Let My Vote Count situation where some of us advocated until we lost our voices. A similar situation played out.
Maxwell Agbagba is still at the Central Police Station where the protesters were taken. Let's cross over to him. Maxwell, have the protesters been released? Hello, Maxwell.
Can you hear me? Hello, Aisha, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Aisha, so we are right in front of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. Now, in the last 30 minutes, a scuffle broke out.
Regional Police Headquarters. Now, in the last 30 minutes, a scuffle broke out right here in front of the entrance of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. Some persons who were standing outside here demanding the release of, some of them actually said they wanted to see their colleagues who have been arrested by the police. They were whisked into the prisons of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. And some of them were actually manhandled by some men who were in mufti on the compound of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. Now also, in the last 45 minutes, we've seen some of the protesters who are arrested. They were put in the bed of a pickup truck, and we're told that they've been distributed to various police stations here in the Greater Accra region. Specifically, our source mentioned Osu Police Station, Sukura Police Station, and then Dansuman Police Station. We are told that is actually to prevent the massing up of people here in front of the Central Police Station and the Accra Regional Police Headquarters, like you're seeing. A number of Fix the Country protesters are arriving here on the ground. We've seen many of their lawyers also arriving here, demanding the release of their colleagues. They tell us that if they are not released, they are not going to live here. But one of the people who witnessed what happened in front of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters is journalist Bridget Otu, but she says she wants to be identified as a protester. She says she's a citizen first and not a spectator. Let's find out from her what she witnessed here. Bridget, welcome to join us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You were right here in front. We were out here capturing what was
equally attacked, yes. Police officers. In that famously plagiarized speech by the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo, he talked about us being citizens and not spectators. It was inspirational for all of us to get involved. As a journalist, I have reported on this for so long. But you know what? I'm equally affected. My business is affected. I'm taken to various police stations And so I came to the Greater Accra Regional Command, and when I came, a parent who was in agony of her son missing because the son had been picked up by police and taken in there, Kevin Boachi, and the service have a pension for committing crimes and getting away with it. So they should let that boy out. So we just stood at the gate and I asked, apart from that, I have a reporter in there I wanted to get to. And the police just charged us, a man in there who cannot see through these, there are no holes here for him to see, just comes to the gate and charges and started pulling the men amongst us. The police have stolen even a phone from a protester. Ghana police have stolen a phone.
They took the phone?
No, they have stolen it. The person was not used, they stole it, right? They attacked the person, and I remember when whilst they were pulling me along. And I was wondering what I was doing because I can't fight any police officer. They will beat me and get away with it, and that's okay. They do that all the time. 8 people died in the election. They've not done anything about it, and that's okay. So I didn't want to be killed. At least I wanted to live to tell my story. They ripped my dress apart, and I'm on TV in my bra. Not that I wanted to, but because these Ghana police service are irrational and unprofessional, and frankly, that colonial brutish method needs to stop.
You want to be identified as a protester. What do you want fixed? What do you want fixed about this country?
I want jobs. In fact, let me start from the very basics. I want people to be able to speak the same way Nanado was allowed to speak freely. I want the kids who are protesting to be able to sit in the middle of the Flagstaff House, because it has happened before. They sat right in front of the Flagstaff House with their iPads on their laps when they protested back in 2015, 2016. I want them to be able to at least speak. If nothing is going to get fixed, allow them to protest because it is their right to do so. That is the basic. And as journalists, I don't want to be afraid. I am tired of being afraid. When I hear Manasseh says, I've had to up my security, I had to leave the country because of how these guys are, because they are vindictive, it touches me. It scares me because I'm also critical of the government. So I'm coming out to let Nanado know that we will not stop talking because we voted for him, we pay him, and every other family member in his government. So that needs to stop. And then what are they asking for? Basic jobs. People are leaving the country they would rather be cleaners abroad than be CEOs in Ghana. And that is terrible. And what more? If they are protesting, they are not doing coups. They are not throwing stones. Have you seen anybody? I mean, this is the best of our society. Creme de la creme people who came here. Do they look like armed robbers that they needed to be met with force? There are more police officers armed and afraid in front of the Flagstaff House than there were protesters. That needs to stop. If indeed that lie that Nanado is a human rights lawyer were even to be true, this is even shameful.
Thank you for talking to us, Bridget. So we just had Bridget Otu. She's a journalist, but today she says she wants to be identified as a protester. She says she's a citizen, not a spectator. She witnessed the scuffle that broke out here right at the entrance of the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. As it stands right now, some members of Fix the Country are still here. Family members and friends of those arrested and picked up by the police are also still here, waiting anxiously for the release of their friends and family members. We've not seen signs of any of that.
You have the Maxwell Agbagba, who is still at the Central Police Station where protesters have been arrested, and he has been bringing us updates of what transpired, and we're hearing of a scuffle that broke there. You heard Bridget Otu, who is a journalist, who says she wants to be identified as a protester because she says she has also been attacked, but she also wants government to fix the basic needs of the country. Let's get on to other stories. The Convention People's Party says it is unaware of any ongoing negotiations with Alan Tremantin regarding the 2024 general elections. Alan Tremantin withdrew from the NPP flag bearership race, citing a biased electoral process favoring a specific candidate. Although he has not officially announced his future political plans, recent media reports have suggested a potential alignment with the CPP for the upcoming elections. However, chairperson of the CPP, Nana Frimpoma Akosia Sapon, states that no such considerations have been made.
Ivor has told me not. So I have no clue where that information is coming. But here is the truth, though. Alan, as I keep telling you, is a fine gentleman.
Does the CPP want to have Alan Tremantin?
Plus more. We want to have Alan Tremantin, we want to have Ken Japan if you also feel like he's not being treated properly. We want to have anybody and all the other NDC, even and Dr. Dufo, we were expecting that he would come to us because as long as CPP has the best policies for this country, there is no doubt about that. Next time, I would like to go through the policies with you. It is not by chance that we had over 400 factories within a very short time. It is not by chance that we had Akosombo and we also had the atomic energy because of vision. Atomic energy was going to be nuclear power so that today the industrialization would have been able to establish. It is not by chance that we had the agricultural process where we just didn't focus on agriculture, but we also focused on the process of selling. You know that currently, when the minister wanted to make sure that to establish the fact that food was in abundance, he brought food to the ministry to sell at the Ministry of Agriculture. I don't want to mention his name because I don't know, is he still in the race or he's not?
He's still in the race.
Yeah, so let me leave it like that because I don't want to be biased. But remember that
The CPP has, however, taken on the NPP government for mismanaging the economy.
Hoping two things. We're hoping, first of all, to keep it alive by taking over power. Okay. And that is why, for me, because there's nothing else. We are not a fraternity just to have Osagyefo celebrated every year. Osagyefo will not be happy in his grave until the day Ghana becomes the vision. The Ghana of today is the Ghana of the colonial invaders' vision, where we focus and deal and buy everything foreign and do not produce anything local. We cannot make it. Our dollar will not work. We'll be going to IMF. It's a simple thing. Today, as I'm talking to you, we are going to Nkrofo. When we get in Nkrofo, we are hoping that at least 1 million people would be going to Nkrofo every year for pilgrimage. That is the legacy, the things that CPP is looking at. So that if we are not celebrating him as a founder, we will see the effects of his legacy by going to Nkrofo. Nkrofo's hotel should be full. Every hotel around that vicinity should always be full. You and your children should desire that one place that you must go before you become an adult is that you must go and see where Osagyefo was born and where Osagyefo died. He's the only person who was born and died, buried in the same place that he was born, the same place that he was given birth to. That's the same place that he was buried.
Until he was brought back to Accra.
I mean, yes, but that's where I'm sure. I don't know whether they brought the fish and left the body. They don't even know what was brought here. But at least that's where it is today. Yeah. So the truth here is this: the legacy of Osagyefo is for Ghana to work. It's for you to believe in yourself. It's for you to be able to have that African personality. It's for you to be a capable person. And when you talk about capability, it means affordable housing, not the confusion. It means that being able to have quality education. It means that, oh my God, it means that not our young people running down a street in the scorching sun, having to walk to Libya, now they can't go there, going to capsizing boats and dying. That is not the vision of Osagyefo.
Former Auditor General Daniel Domelevo is throwing his weight behind calls for the removal of the Finance Minister and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana. The two managers of the economy have come under massive pressure for the current state of the country, with many demanding their sack. Speaking to Raymond Akwa on Upfront, the former Auditor General insisted they should leave office to restore confidence in the economy.
The economy is in trouble. And when I saw a group of members of parliament asking for his dismissal, I thought it should be done.
Okay.
Yes, at least to give confidence to the system that, look, we are serious. We want to get people who should go. But he is still there. To be very honest with you,
he was recently given a very nice position among WAMI, the West African Monetary Zone, and all of that. Is it the case that we are not seeing the person we have and others?
Do you know what WAMI is? Is it not the same type?
It's a monetary zone.
What do they monitor? They are the best of the same feathers who are choosing the I don't want to say what
they are ministers. So there's a ministers and governors of years.
No, non-performing ministers choosing one of them to recognize what is it. It's like a group of idiots meeting and deciding that, oh, let's reward this one. And then WAMI is nothing. I know I've been dealing with WAMI since I was an accountant general, so I know of them. I've attended several of their programs in West Africa. So the fact that they are a group of ministers, tell me which of them will you envy? Which of the countries? Is West African ministers tell me that you envy this West African country because the Ministry of Finance is doing very well. Which of
the point I was making is that is this something that we probably are not giving credit to the man for, the man Nanaya Kuntunkulunku of Oriata for when you say he should be removed? Because the argument is that...
Not that I said he should be removed, not because I have anything against him personally. What I'm saying is that at times you must make changes to give confidence to the system.
Okay.
Okay, it's like we all realize that, God forbid, joy is going down. Then we are keeping the same leadership. He is the one who represents the president or the government in charge of managing the finances of the country.
That's true.
And things are not going well and people are complaining. One of the things you can do is to say, look, my friend, take the back seat. Let's get somebody else. So to tell the people that, well, you have, the president himself acknowledged that things are not going well.
Mr. Domelevo has also been downplaying President Akufo-Addo's self-assessment of his fight against corruption.
Well, that is a self-assessment and you cannot fault him for it. I would be surprised if he would be honest to say that countrymen are failed in the fight against corruption. But in my candid opinion, I don't think his assessment is very correct. He has done a few things which are okay. For instance, I told you about the budgetary allocation, which is fine. But then if you support the institution to go and do the work and you don't take any action on the findings, I heard, for instance, the COVID audit report, which came out in Malawi. Immediately the president fired the minister who took some portion of the money and said the police should go after anybody at all who was cited in the report. So we must use the report. But it's not a matter of just funding the service or the Office of the Auditor General. And when the findings come out, the president becomes the one who even defends the people who are found.
So specifically, which instance are you talking about? Is this still Crown Associates or?
Exactly. I still find it funny that I thought what the minimum the Office of the President should do in all these corruption cases is to take a back seat. I don't believe that the president was very objective and sincere with us. I don't believe that. Because, you see, many times he even preempts the investigation. Before the investigation, when Honorable Cecilia Abinadapa's case came, nobody is finding her guilty of anything, okay? And the investigation has not even been completed even before trial. But the tone of the letter from the Office of the President.
You mean the party says, I am confident like you that at the end of the day, your integrity whilst in office will be established. And I wish you the very best in all your endeavors.
Good.
This is the president's concluding words to the woman who was leaving office as sanitation
Was
minister.
it necessary? To me, it was unnecessary.
It is his expression of confidence.
Yes, but you don't have to, because immediately you express that confidence. Remember, all this investigative machinery are under the president. No matter how independent you are, we have some respect for the presidency. If the first man, the first gentleman of the state is already taking sides or maybe expecting that nothing should happen, then are you surprised if nothing happens?
Grass charcoal is emerging as a game changer in protecting Ghana's forest resources in the wake of the threat of climate change. An estimated 69% of rural and urban households make use of charcoal or fuel wood as a major source of energy for cooking and heating. These are popular energy choices because they are locally available and by far the cheapest option compared to electricity, kerosene and cooking gas. However, since charcoal and fuel wood are produced mainly from naturally occurring tree resources through unsustainable ways, forest resources are under increasing threat, creating the need for alternative sustainable fuels. In the following special feature, Joy News' Upper East Regional correspondent Albert Sori explores the emergence of grass charcoal as an alternative.
Charcoal is a very common fuel used in Ghana for cooking and generally heating. From homes to institutions to businesses, this lightweight black carbon residue is widely used. The users believe charcoal is cheaper compared to other fuel sources like electricity, gas, or kerosene.
Charcoal is very good to be used. With a small quantity, we can use it to prepare TZ, our local delicacy, and soup. And then with a small quantity, we can still use it to boil water to bath the kids.
I'm able to use it to cook because the heat in it is very high. It's very affordable.
For these people, charcoal and sometimes firewood are cheap, at least as far as their pockets are concerned. But a careful, deeper look would reveal that there is nothing cheap about wood charcoal. To produce charcoal, hundreds of trees are cut down and burnt. According to the Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers, GAFAP, around 1 million trees are felled annually in the northern parts of Ghana alone for the production of charcoal and fuel wood.
On an annual basis, about 1 to 1.2 million trees across the northern savanna ecological zones are felled for wood fuel. Burning is a major challenge for us here in northern Ghana. It is estimated that up to about 700,000 to 800,000 tons of wood fuel comes from northern Ghana alone to the rest of the country.
The results of this are fast depleting forest resources across the country. Professor David Miller is the president of the Miller Institute for Transdisciplinary and Development Studies at Bolgatanga in the Upper East region. He has researched the phenomenon of charcoal production and has over the last 10 years made some alarming findings.
It's scary because the harvest of trees for the making of charcoal is also making a conscious drift towards the harvesting of particular trees, and there's enough evidence to show that the shea tree is a preferred species that can meet those qualities.
Albert Story's report. We'll take a break on business. We'll bring you sports after this.
Let's do sports now. On Joy News today with me, Muftaw Nabila Ablai, and the Black Queens produced a stunning performance when they thumped Rwanda 7-0 in their opening game in the qualifiers for the Women's African Cup of Nations 2024. The Black Queens led 4-0 in the first half before adding 3 in the second half to finish that contest, and then the second leg, which is going to be happening at the Accra Sports Stadium next weekend, is going to be a mere formality for the team. Head coach of the team, Nora Haftel, has been speaking. She says that though the team encountered some challenges, as good as they are, they were able to surmount those challenges to produce the performance witnessed on Wednesday.
Well, we won 7-0. Coach is quite satisfied, not only that we scored so many goals. I think it's also that we keep our clean sheet behind. It was not easy before the game, some circumstances, but I think a good team can always deal with difficult circumstances, and we have been ready from the first minute on the pitch. We scored from a set piece another time to start, and this gave us then also the safety and confidence. We like it to play on AstroTurf, so all was rolling good, and our possession game, we invested a lot in the training time we had, in the video time. So all in all, I'm very satisfied. I think there are still little details which we need to adjust. It was good that we could give also 5 other players playing time to, let's say, release a bit the load, because some played still Sunday. And now we make sure that we are next Tuesday ready when we are in Accra in our home stadium in front of our crowd. So we will be waiting for you there, and now happy to have this victory home again.
Now let's hear from disqualified GFA presidential aspirant, Mr. George Friye, who says that betting is a major canker in Ghana football and has called on the football governing body leadership led by Kurt Okreku to ensure that they find the best solution when it comes to providing the right image for Ghana football.
Lucky that things are being done elsewhere, which we can easily copy. We cannot say that companies like betting companies cannot invest in our game, because betting companies are investing in other leagues. We see it every day. But those leagues has credibility. You watch the English Premier League, you watch the Spanish La Liga, and you can see clearly that there are betting companies that are sponsoring a number of clubs.
And all that,
Yes, but still the league has credibility. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure that we liaise with Gaming Commission. That's the first point, because with Gaming Commission they have the software to determine and so we need to sit down with them which of our games must even be on their betting site, or even whether we have to even take our league from the betting site in the meantime. We need to look at all this. Again, FIFA has what we call the early warning system. If we are serious and we are to liaise with FIFA, you know that there are ways and means to curb this. You get the early warning and you are able to take measures. Are you aware? I'm sure nobody has heard it in Ghana here. Are you aware that there's going to be a conference on sports betting, and Ghana has been invited? In actual fact, we've been cited, but the FA has never mentioned it. I think the event is coming on somewhere in Argentina. It is because Ghana has been asked to deliver a paper on how to curb sports betting, because they found sports betting in our society. And I don't think any Ghanaian is aware. Such a letter is being covered by the Ghana FA.
But how do you get?
That's the point.
That's an interesting question.
Yes, because you see, we are living in a global world. It's become so important that we need to learn from those who have been successful in doing it. Once countries have been able to achieve success in battling betting, we should be able to do it. We need to engage. The football society is such a big family that you can even easily write to the English FA, to the Spanish FA, and ask, how do you control sports betting within your society? It is so easy to do that.
So in other words, match fixing is still in the system?
Of course there's match fixing in our league. Are you saying you are not aware? Are you, as a journalist, have not witnessed instances where you have heard score lines before the match and it has come to pass?
I don't think it's normal.
How does it become normal?
It is normal when I'm able to predict that Brecum Chelsea is going to beat Instrument 3-1 or 5-2. Or it is normal.
And one goal will be scored at the 27th minute, the other one will be scored at the 80th minute, and the other you can predict.
It's a prediction.
It's not a prediction. These are reality. You see, if you don't accept that there's a rot in your system, you can fight it. If you sit here and believe that there's no, then stop talking about our system is being bedeviled with betting. Don't say it, because you don't believe it. But it is when you believe that there are certain things going on and it's wrong, it's when you can find solutions to.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. We appreciate your time.
And that's how we drop the curtains on Joy News today. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Happy Nkrumah Memorial Holiday.